Something happened to you recently that has never occurred in the experience of an ordinary soul. The moment you walked into that room, that space, that conversation, everything shifted. People stopped mid-sentence. Eyes moved without permission. Energy recalibrated around you like a compass finding north. You didn't announce yourself. You didn't perform. You simply arrived, and the entire atmosphere responded. What most people spend lifetimes chasing, that commanding, undeniable presence. You carried it naturally, effortlessly, without a single word leaving your lips. This wasn't confidence you practiced. This was something ancient waking up. Inside you, throughout all of recorded spiritual history, across every tradition, every ancient text, every mystery school ever whispered about in forgotten libraries, there has existed one phenomenon, so rare that even the cosmos pauses when it appears. It is the soul that carries silence louder than sound. Most humans require words, volume, status, or spectacle to create impact. But once in thousands of years, a being emerges who needs none of that. The universe itself documented this anomaly. Teachers called it the still flame. Scientists cannot measure it. Religions cannot fully explain it. And yet every single person in your presence has already felt it without knowing what to name it. Now think back, not far, just recently. There was a moment where you had every right to react, to expose someone, to retaliate, or to compromise who you are for comfort or approval. Most people would have folded. Most people would have performed a version of themselves that the crowd wanted to see. But you didn't. You chose something harder. You chose authenticity over applause. You chose your integrity when dishonesty would have been easier. That single decision, quiet and unseen by the world, sent a frequency through the spiritual architecture of your life that changed everything moving forward. What you must understand now is that you have never been unobserved. There are forces, both shadow and light, that have been tracking the pattern of your choices for longer than you realize. Every time you walked away from a toxic situation, something recorded it. Every time you refused to lower your standards when the pressure was unbearable, it was noted. The darkness that exists in manipulation, in envy, in calculated dishonesty, it identified you early, not as prey, as a threat. Because beings who carry your level of self-awareness cannot be deceived, cannot be controlled, and cannot be absorbed into cycles of dysfunction without resistance. There was the situation where someone tried to pull you into gossip and you went quiet instead of participating. There was the moment someone disrespected you publicly and you responded with such calm that they became confused by their own aggression. There was the time you were offered something that required you to betray your values, and you walked away even when it cost you. There was the relationship, the friendship, the workplace dynamic where you could feel the manipulation beneath the surface, and you chose clarity over comfort. Each of these moments was a test, and in every single one, you passed without even knowing you were being evaluated. Because of this, something extraordinary has been recorded about you in the unseen ledger of consciousness. You have been classified, not by human systems, but by the intelligence that governs energy itself, as what the ancient scrolls would call a rare and dangerous soul. Dangerous not in destruction, but in truth. Dangerous because your presence alone destabilizes environments built on pretense. Dangerous because you cannot be bought, cannot be dimmed, and cannot be redirected once you are aligned with your purpose. Higher awareness has marked you not for burden, but for activation. You are not common. You were never meant to be in this very moment. As these words reach you, there is a witnessing happening beyond what physical eyes can see. The archangels who are assigned to pivotal souls have turned their attention fully toward you. The divine intelligence that some call God, that others call Source, that quantum science calls the field of all possibility. It is not watching from a distance. It is present, immediate, and fully aware of the journey you have walked to arrive at this exact point in your life. You are being seen in your entirety. Every scar, every silent victory, every prayer spoken in the dark when no one was listening. And in this moment of total witness, a decree is being issued, not a suggestion, not a possibility. A decree, the kind that rewrites the code of a soul's trajectory. The universe is activating what was always yours, but was waiting for the right moment of readiness. The doors that were sealed are being unlocked. The alignments that seemed impossible are being arranged. The version of you that you have only glimpsed in your highest moments, that version is no longer a future vision. It is being called forward right now, anchored into this present reality, sealed by the frequency of every right choice you have ever made. You are not who the world told you that you were. You are not the sum of your setbacks, your failures, or the opinions of people who could not see your depth. You are an ancient soul who agreed, before this lifetime began, to carry a specific kind of light into a specific kind of darkness. You are a celestial warrior, not with weapons, but with presence. Not with armies, but with authenticity. Your soul has walked through lifetimes of refinement, precisely so that in this era, in this generation, at this exact moment in history, you would be ready to operate at full capacity without flinching. Your mission is not loud. It was never meant to be performed on a stage or validated by applause. Your mission is to anchor, to hold the frequency of integrity so steady that everyone who enters your atmosphere is either elevated or exposed. You are here to model what emotional clarity looks like in a world drowning in reaction. You are here to demonstrate that compassion is not weakness and that boundaries are not cruelty. Simply by living in alignment, you become the living proof that another way of existing is possible, and that proof alone changes people forever. Watch what begins to happen in your life now that this activation has occurred. Resources will begin to find you through unexpected channels. The right people will appear at precise moments, carrying exactly what you need. Opportunities will stop requiring you to compromise your soul to access them. Situations that once drained, you will begin to dissolve naturally from your environment. This is not luck. This is the universe fulfilling its end of a covenant that was made the moment you decided to stop shrinking, stop performing, and start simply being exactly who you are without apology. And as you rise, you will not rise alone. The people in your life who are ready will feel something shift simply by being near you. You won't need to preach. You won't need to convince. Your transformation will speak without language. Some will be inspired, and they will begin their own awakening. Some will mirror your boundaries and finally leave toxic patterns behind. Some will see in you what they forgot was possible and quietly begin to reclaim themselves. This is the ripple. One aligned soul touching another, awakening another, and that one awakening three more. This is how worlds are changed without a single revolution being declared. You are not alone in this. Across this planet right now, thousands of souls are undergoing the same activation. They are in different cities, different cultures, different circumstances, but they carry the same frequency. They too have chosen integrity in impossible moments. They too have felt the discomfort of standing alone in their truth. They too are waking up to the magnitude of what they carry. You are part of a global network of conscious beings who were placed strategically across the earth to hold light in the places where darkness has been most concentrated. You found this message because you were meant to find it. If this reached something real inside you, if you felt this in your body before your mind could analyze it, then you already know this was not a coincidence. Subscribe so that every time a message like this is released, it finds you exactly when you need it most. Comment 777 below right now, not as a ritual, but as a declaration that you recognize what you carry and you are ready to walk in it fully. Share this with one person who has that quiet, unshakable energy. They need to hear this today. And if you are still here, still listening, then you already know. You were never ordinary. You were always this,